Joey, I also want to add on.
Yeah.
I also want to just piggyback off what you're saying too. And Joey and I I met Joey in 2005. And what people don't understand is there's a learning curve to this, and a lot of people, jump right in. And let's face it, we're all emotional, we're all excited, the patch, either somebody that shared it with you has done something or it's for yourself. And then you race out there and you start telling people. But there is a curve, a learning curve when you're giving people the right information, enough information so they can do their research, but you don't also give them too much information that you turn them off to the business. And I was speaking with somebody yesterday and I was telling them, look, it's okay. You can go back. I have already. You can go back to a few people and say, hey, remember when I shared this with you a year ago and I was really excited? I kind of messed it up. I didn't actually know what I know now, and I think I can present the opportunity better because I didn't think you got to see what I see, and it is changing lives, and the patch works. So it's important to learn as you go, and that's what that's what the upline's for. And I saw on the slide that got taken down, to go over their objections right away because people are going to come to you and say, oh, is this an MLM? Is this one of those things? Because that's what they've heard. And it's okay that they've heard that, but then it's okay for you to tell them, well, I always say, well, what does that mean to you? What does that mean to you? Is this a pyramid? And most people can't answer that. And I always like to go back and say, look, this industry's been around forever. This industry creates more millionaires than any other industry. And if you can plug into it and understand what you're doing with a phenomenal company that has one of the most remarkable products on the planet, this can change your life. And, if you look at the slides, this allows you to work from anywhere. This allows you to take your kids to school or pick your kids home up because a lot of people, and I know all of us have careers or we're working full-time jobs. You don't have another 40 hours a week to go work another full-time career. So these businesses not only can replace your full-time income, but give enough time and you just go through the learning curve and lean on your upline to help you out and call Kortnei and Joey or us and Brooke or whoever, Vic and Dicy on the call, Johnny, Kim, any of these people, and give them a call. They'll be more than happy to steer you in the right direction and avoid the potholes that we've avoided. So that's what I wanted to piggyback off of what you were saying, Joey. So I'm going to
Yeah.
turn it back over to you, but I just wanted to kind of go over that.
Well, I think that's really good. The point I'm taking from that, Keston, is going back, circling back to some people because in the beginning, to your point, Kortnei and I were very excited. We didn't really know. We didn't know that we didn't know, right? We didn't know that how important it was to be hydrated. We didn't know that some of the most intense reactions with X39 and testimonies come after 3 to 6 months. So many people, we're an instant gratification society, right? So some of the people we put patches on in the beginning, they expect something right away. And when they didn't get it, what do? They give up or they say this doesn't work. People are so easily turned off and they quit so easily. And one or two people that say no to them and the world, sky's falling and hey, I can't do this. So circle back around and say, look, not only do we know more, but take a few minutes. We want to share what's going on now. The company now has won the Bravo Award 2 years in a row. It's the fastest growing company of its kind in the world, period, end of story. Okay. There is nothing else like LifeWave right now. And, to kind of, again, to piggyback off of that a little bit, if you personally aren't way up here and your belief level isn't above your head and super excited about it, both, then it's going to be difficult for you to share this and remain authentic and genuine. That is a big deal because people want to know. They don't care how much you know until they know that you care, right? And that is a big deal. And in the beginning, right? Because I was excited about the potential and the opportunity. Keston and I've known him since '05. We've had some success before. We knew what was coming. We knew what was possible. Well, now we've kind of transitioned. There's been a paradigm shift a little bit. Now we're really leaning on the merits of the product because we have such a unique product that really does work. It's not psychosomatic. Okay. And I hate to say it, but maybe the company we were with before was a little psychosomatic. And that's why they're not here any longer, right? We were just pushing it, the business. Now we're leaning on and we're really pushing, we're working off the merits of the product more. Now we're balancing that with the business opportunity because there's nothing else like it. I don't know anywhere in the world. And to Keston's point about networks and referral marketing, thank goodness David Schmidt decided to promote this business in X39 through this vehicle, through this affiliate program or network marketing, whatever you want to call it. It's the best way to do it. It gives all of us an opportunity for a few $100s to get on board, have our own business. Go try and start a brick and mortar business. It'll cost you not a few hundred, it'll cost you a few 100,000 minimum, probably a few million, right? So it's incredible what's happening. The This Is It team is the foundation of all of what we're doing. Things be successful, you've got to have a system to plug into. That's why all of you are on here. That's why This Is It team was created, so that everyone would have a place to learn how to build and do this effectively. Again, in the beginning of the call, I talked about, I want to give you some real world stuff. Let's get back to what we do to introduce the patch and how we kick people along and kick them in gear and help them. You can't let go of somebody until they become a manager. You never let go of them, right? But you certainly cannot let go of anybody that joins our team and joins your team, wants to try X39. You don't let go of them until they become a manager. And the reason for that is because it does a couple of things. One, it allows them to enjoy X39 for free. Because if they're making enough to cover the cost of their product, they're never going to quit, correct? So let's get them to that point. And then from that point on, anything above that is profit and is a plus. So when someone comes in, you've got to stay with them and encourage them and help them any way you can to make sure that they become managers as quickly as possible. Now, is everyone going to do that? No. But the beauty of this compensation plan and the misnomer that's out there in the referral marketing space is that, oh, I've got to be this big salesperson and I've got to go enroll 100,000 people. No, you don't. You got to go find 3 to 5 people that are like-minded, that are tired, they're sick and tired of being sick and tired. Now, that may take you 20 on the left and 20 on the right before you find those 3 to 5, but those are the numbers. We've researched it, we've done it. Steve and Gina will tell you, you have to go enroll 20 left and 20 right to find the 3 people that you need to lock arms with on each side. If you haven't done that yet, you haven't found those 3, then it's coming. It's just a matter of time. You got to continue to go out there and share that. So,
and to add to that though, I'm sure a lot of you guys already know that, right? Too, in the sense like you're experiencing what he's saying, that that you get some people in sometimes too. They don't get moving yet. You're always looking for more people, always prospecting. Doesn't matter where I go. Like I'm on an RV trip right now. I'm talking to everybody because I know that there's an opportunity in every single person I meet that will not just blow up my business, but essentially like if you're a real leader, you want to help your entire team. You don't stop recruiting and stop putting people in. You're always putting people in with the opportunity and hoping that they build, that it helps your entire team build, right? Because we have that lucky leg and we want everybody to reap the benefits of that.
Yeah.
And I just want to add, Joey, it's also, because you had touched on it, people don't, care how much you know until they know how much you care. I love that saying because it really is like I was talking to my brother before this call, and him and Sarah built a pretty tremendous business. And they do a lot of stuff with their team, and that's the part is you have to get involved with the people that you're putting in because you're actually sharing not only a health opportunity with them, but potentially a financial opportunity with them. And they have to know that you're there to help them along. So going to dinner, hanging out more than a Zoom call. If people are across the country, I understand there's a difference, but if they're in your backyard, if they're an hour away from you, there's no reason you shouldn't be able to get together with that group or put something together at someone's house and bring people together so they can go have some fun. You get to learn who their family is, their wife, their kids, who their kids are, and you actually build a relationship. And that is driving the success of in my brother's business. And it's just that they build that bond with everybody. So I would tell you, reach out to the people you're putting in. Like Joey said, you don't want to let go of them until they're a manager, but that's also you wanting the best for them and helping them out, because the reason you got manager is someone took the time, shared it with you, took the time to jump on a couple phone calls and help you out, or get in a text chat with the people you're introducing. And so those are just some of the important parts, and not quitting. Like, I see a lot of people, and I was talking today to Brooke about it, but so many people, they think of traditional business. You go to your traditional business and you show up every day. And why? Because you're moving that ball forward. And in here, a lot of people like to hit it hard for 1 week or a few days, and then they go take 2 weeks off. And then they come back. And this is a business like that. This business is about moving the ball forward every day. And whether that's a simple conversation of an introduction of the product, whether that's reaching out to your team and helping them enroll a few people and go forward, or helping them get to their goals. We're like asking them, what is your goal with this? Where do you want to go with this? And helping that person get there. Those simple activities are what is going to bring you to SPD. And Joey and Kortnei and Brooke and I and everybody, we're all facing the same things you are. People not returning phone calls, people you get a patch to, and they don't hit your text back for 3 days. It's kind of like triage. Who's important, who's calling you all the time, wanting you to help, who you're reaching out to make sure they have enough, and then who's kind of pulling away. And I will tell you, run with the people that want to run with you, and reach out to those people, because those are the people that are right now wanting to go and move forward. And those are the activities that'll drive your business to the next level, is just helping a few of those people run with you. All of us are experiencing the same thing. It's not everybody we call jumps in, signs up, gets a pack, takes off. That's not the case. We put a lot of people in and they come back to us weeks later, and then they engage, or a month later and they engage. But we always follow up with them. I can tell you, I know Joey and Kortnei, and they're following up. Brooke and I, we're following up, because just because it's out of their mind, they're not out of our mind.
And Keston, why don't you cover that? And speaking about that, like, just so you guys understand, so you guys don't feel like you're going through this alone. I mean, Keston, think about how many people we've brought in and how many people actually were building the business, right? Joey and Kortnei, same thing for you. I mean, what is it, 10%?
Yeah. Well, yeah, I just want to interject too, because there's so many good points flying around right now. So I'm gonna say a couple things, and then Brooke, take it over as a courtesy to everyone in time. But so this listen, this is not a business we're not in the business of raising the dead. Okay. So what I mean by that is, don't get stuck on that person that you thought was going to be a home run and was going to go like, move on. I like what Brooke said. Activity breeds activity. You've got to continue to enroll and put new people in, because one person can completely change the dynamic of your business. And in a binary compensation plan, binary meaning two, you only have two legs, right? In theory, you only need two people, one on the left, one on the right. Again, it goes back to that misnomer about having to go enroll 2,000 people. No, just a handful if you find the right ones. All right. But we're not about raising the dead. The other thing is don't panic, don't be in a hurry, and choose wisely. And what I mean by that is, listen, when we go on vacation, I want to go with Brooke and Keston and people that are fun. I don't want to go with people. I want to be vacationing with the right kind of people. So choose wisely. Don't be in a hurry. Don't panic. People sense that anyway. Then they're going to feel like they're being sold. You don't want that. They don't want that. And this is a tell, not a sell, right? This is all about just heralding the message of an incredible opportunity that'll change your life. And $500 to $1,000 a week or a month changes things for people.
Yes.
That might be that's a car payment, a house payment, whatever it is. And we can show you how to get there very quickly and take care of that and then move on. Lastly, and then I'll turn it over, Brooke. But this is important. When we were talking about earlier, when I was talking about being creative and finding ways to introduce X39 and or LifeWave to people out there, this is what we're doing, and it's working. I do this all the time. I overhear people in a conversation, and I heard somebody say, "Oh, I have these terrible migraines," and I just simply say, "I have a patch for that." Somebody over here says, "Oh, I've got this terrible eczema. I've got a patch for that." We were at a party, and they said, "Oh my gosh, I haven't slept. I don't dream anymore. I've got a patch for that." My point is this: when you say that, they're going to look at you like a deer in headlights, and they're going to say, "What do you mean you have a patch for that?" "Oh, well, I'm glad you asked." And I pull out, or I have a patch, or I show them the patch, and it gives me an opportunity to then tell them about X39 in a 30-second commercial. Hand them a card, get their information, boom, and I'm off and running. They're looking at This Is It info, and I'm following up with them, and we've recruited somebody new.
And Joey, what's also the importance of that too is also having the product on you so you can actually show them, right? I've had people
100%.
say, "Oh, I didn't have product on me." I'm like, wait, if this is your business and you
Yeah.
want to build, you need the product, right, Keston?
Yeah, no, I know Joey will laugh, but we learned a long, long time ago, and I know Brooke did too. You have to be ready for the opportunity when the opportunity presents itself. And that's in business anywhere. If you are not ready, Steve and Gina in the beginning, why did they have all the patches they had? Because they know that they were going to run across people. No one knew what it was, and they had to have it on them. The reason we have a supply of patches and a whole drawer full over here and in there is so when I'm at the gym, I carry it in my bag all the time, and someone asks, I can pull it out right in front of them. Because when you don't have it, sometimes that opportunity is only one time. You're going to meet that person one time. You're going to have 10 minutes in front of that person or five to actually tell them what, show them, and get them where they're actually wanting to know and curious about what you got. And if you don't have it, you miss it. They go on with their life. We're all the same way. Everybody's busy. They get 10 more phone calls the next 2 days. And by the time you get back around to it, they're trying to remember who you are. And so, that always being ready is super important. Be ready, carry it with you, put it in a backpack, put it so and don't leave it in your car because they already know we live in Florida. It's hot if you're down here. But put it on your kitchen table, and when you walk out of the house, you grab the backpack and you take it with you that day. And that way you have some brochures on you, you have the patches on you, just have things that you can give to people. We've been building now for over 2.5 years, and it is a learning curve, like I told you, and you get better as you go along. And as you figure some of this simple stuff out, you get a little bit better, and your ratio becomes better as you present it to people, and then your credibility becomes a little bit better, and you don't really worry about if someone's not into it. It's okay, not everybody's going to be into everything. I run an investment fund. Not everybody wants to invest with me. It's okay, they can put their money where they want to put their money. But it's the same with these patches. Not everybody's going to want to do what you do, but you only need a few people to follow you and say yes. And if you lead, they will follow, meaning that you put them on the right calls, you put them with the right upline, you plug them into the right events that they can go to. Because we didn't even touch on it, but the events are super important. People like to say, I don't need that stuff. That's not for me. You have to go there. You have to feel, touch, and see the people in the company. You have to know what you're a part of. It has to be firsthand experience when you're talking to people, not secondhand or third hand. It's great to say, well, my friend's friend went to something. And no, that's not the way. You say, I'm part of a company. This is what we do. I went there. I heard the CEO. I've heard Meredith. I've heard these corporate people talk. I know we're in the right place. And that's why I'm here. that puts weight when you talk to people, because they know that you believe what you're saying, and people will follow somebody that is actually stable, believes what they're talking about. But if you're just like, oh, I don't know, my friend's friend went to something, I'm not quite sure, I'm kind of trying it. Nobody's going to follow anybody that's trying anything, right? People follow
Well said.
people that are going somewhere. You know, this person's going somewhere. This guy, Steve Jobs, is building a company. It's going to be successful. He keeps telling people that. I'm going with him. Nobody follows a guy that's like, I don't know. I might try a little bit. I'm going to stick with it for a month. I'm going to try it for a month. You can't do that. Nobody's coming with you. You have to be committed to what you're doing and the opportunity that you're involved with. We're all here 2.5 years later, sitting here on a Monday night because this opportunity is huge. I know Brooke traveled today. I work today. Everybody has something else they're doing. But this opportunity, truly, we don't even like to talk numbers because it truly scares people. They don't know. Can you make 5 figures? You can't. Can you make 6 a year? You can. Can you make 7 a year? You can. All these things are possible. You just have to believe in your mind and in your heart that it is. And you have to be willing to dedicate your week and some of your time to moving it forward. And this business will just grow with you. And then as you find a few people that follow you along, you find a few more, and down the road, it just keeps rolling. And it's a snowball effect. And that's where Brooke and Joey we're talking about. You're not looking for 100 people. Like they said, it's 10% of the people that you enroll truly do something. And it's a handful of those people that truly go out and build. And that's what makes everybody all these high incomes and all these high ranks, that you get to go and have fun and travel with the people around the country that you want to be with, and it just, we called Joey and Kortnei, and here we all are 2.5 years on a call together at the same rank. And we all started off at the same rank 2.5 years ago. Nothing. Just signed up, not even managers yet.
That's true.
So believe in yourself. Know that you're in the right place, you're with the right team,
Yes.
and you can move mountains.
Yeah, and guys, just so you guys can quickly screenshot this, because I know that we were kind of talking about network marketing. Joey brought it up, Keston brought it up, and how much it impacted, right? It's dramatically impacted all of our lives. Can you make those numbers like Keston was saying? Abso-freaking-lutely. But a lot of people also, they mess up and they work for 30 years making the same salary for the rest of their lives, scared to move on with something new. And this gives them such an opportunity. I tell people there's a reason 97% of people work for 3% of the world. It's because 3% are willing to take the chance, they're willing to go for it. You don't want to be caught up waiting and waiting for that job raise, right? And these are great reasons on this screen to go for that. And at the end of the day, I mean, Joey, Kortnei, why did you guys join? Why did you guys join? Right? Tell me, Kortnei, why did you join? Right? You're a mom.
So I was a single mom. Joey and I met through Lifeway.
I put the patch on, and look what happened.
So I was a single mom going through so many things. I had thyroid issues and back issues and depression, and I needed an income. And I did not want to do network marketing. It was something that I'd always bought products from my friends, but I always said, I'm not doing network marketing. And then my dad brought me this patch, and I hadn't slept through the night in years and years and years. And the night that I put it on, I slept through the night for the first time in years. And so I'm a researcher. So I got on and started researching everything I could. I had been holistic almost my whole life, and I fell in love. And that's how I started. I fell in love with the product. My belief system went through the roof. And I just started telling people about it. I started texting my friends and telling them, hey, y'all are just like me. You need to try this. And that's why I started. And then I met Joey, and here we are.
Yeah. And
So-
I mean, and oh yeah, go ahead, Joey, and then I'll cut
Well, what I was going to say is, it's so important to understand and determine what your why is. Whenever we talk to new people, when people join us as a brand partner, we ask them, hey, what's your why? And that's why you're doing this now, Brooke, is because we want to know what their why is, because in a few weeks, a few months, we want to circle back and say, remember what you told us? You wanted to stay home, or you wanted to keep a spouse at home, or you wanted to travel more, or you wanted to, whatever it may be. some of the things real quickly, the reason we got involved, we wanted our time back. We wanted the freedom to do what we wanted to do, when we wanted to do it, and with who.
Yep.
That's what everybody wants. The idea of working 40 years, 40 hours a week for a $40 watch is not for us. Probably not for you as well. But that was my mindset. When I got released from playing baseball, I thought I was going to play baseball professionally all my life. But that didn't last very long. I got released. I came home and it was like, now what? So I went to work for a big company because that was what I was programmed to do. I thought, okay, I need to go work somewhere, build up a huge retirement, work 40 years, get the watch, retire on the beach somewhere and be happy. Well, it doesn't work like that. There's not a way to make enough money doing that. This, though, allows us to stay at home. It allows us to do more with the kids, more with the family. It allows us to do, to have our time back. And will LifeWave be a great opportunity 6 months from now? Absolutely, it will be, but it'll never be what it is right now. And that needs to be in your talk track when you introduce this to new people as well.
Absolutely.
You need to be able to tell them, hey, this thing is out of control. You need to jump on board. You need to get on board because people are going to hear about it. And if somebody doesn't get on board right away, make sure you tell them, well, look, John, just when you hear about LifeWave, and you will, when that Netflix documentary comes out this summer and you hear about LifeWave again, just extend me the courtesy of calling me back and getting back with me because I introduced it to you. That's for the people that aren't ready right now, right? Okay, and there are going to be some people like that. But the timing is now. 25 million in annual revenues a few years ago, 600 million now, and going to $1 billion next year. Why? Because of X39. And we talk about X39. We don't get in the weeds and talk about carnosine and glutathione and SP6 and IceWave and Eon. They are phenomenal patches. I'm wearing Eon right now. I'm a big believer in different protocols with these patches. I know they work. Personally, I know they work. However, if you want to introduce people, you stick with X39 and you tell them about X39 and you keep it simple. Like Keston said earlier, people you can't just go out there and start talking about, 900 different things. There's a lot of information and a lot of things to know about LifeWave and X39, right? A lot.
Enough.
It's a lot of people take on. Enough. Yeah. So you just tell them you need the patch. You got a headache, you need the patch. You got joint problems, you need the patch. You got neuropathies, you need the patch. You got thyroid issues, you need the patch. Yeah. We're not claiming that it cures and mitigates disease. Don't get me wrong, people. But the patch works. You just share it. Okay, go ahead, Brooke. I've thrown up on everybody.
And since we're going to be getting into that shortly about what we're not going to be saying and not saying in regards to compliance, I'm going to have the Miss Kortnei hop up and she's going to go through some social media basics and kind of give you guys a few nuggets of what she does. So she has done very good on social media. That's actually how these two started connecting because this girl was just balling out, putting in all these people. And Joey's like, who is this girl? Right. And then he found out what she looked like and then he put a ring on it. But no, she is very good at engaging people. She's very good at that. It's TikTok that is your big fan base, right? And I love it. She crushes it. So I'm going to share my screen unless Kortnei, you want to share it and you want to control the slides or you can just tell me to move. What would you prefer?
You can, that's fine.
Okay. All right. But yeah, here's Kortnei. She's going to kind of go through some things with you guys. So just, listen up. She's very good with this.
You're very sweet, Brooke. I think one of the reasons why I love social media so much and why people kind of flock to me in the beginning is because of what Joey said. Your belief level needs to be very high, and mine was like exploding, and it still is. I love X39. I think every person in the entire world needs to be on that patch. I believe that with all of my heart, and I tell people that everywhere because it is so important for our health. And so with social media, people see if you're on there and you're like, oh, I have a patch and and you're not enthusiastic about it. If you're not excited about it, they're going to see that. Even through the screen, they will see it. They'll see it in person. and they'll see it on the screen. And when I started on TikTok, I started with 0 followers. And within 6 months, I had 20,000 followers because people saw that in me and they knew that I had a testimony from that patch. And not just my testimony, but I was sharing other people's testimonies too. So if you haven't gotten your testimony yet, or yours isn't this big testimony like I had, there are thousands of testimonies that you can listen to, that you can share about and get your belief system up there while your testimony is still forming.
Well said.
So one thing that X39 or social media is good for is customers. And you may not find business builders on social media. I had hundreds and hundreds of customers, 0 business builders, okay? But that's okay, because you still need customers in your business that are on auto ship. Auto ship builds our business 100%. That's how you get your binary. That's how you get paid, is to have people on auto ship. So you're really just trying to look for customers and trying to help people. That's where my heart was. I wanted to help people and I wanted to share about X39. So I'm going to share a couple points. You can go to the next one. And one thing that that I'm going to hit on first is compliance. I have gotten in trouble with compliance because
What?
it is very hard not to talk about certain things. But in the beginning, we were allowed to talk about stem cells and we were allowed to talk about all these things. So now all my videos from 2 years ago that have 500,000 views on them, I'm having to delete, and I hate it so much. But we have to stay compliant. One, because that keeps LifeWave. Okay, we don't ever want LifeWave to go away. And if we're not compliant, the FDA can come attack us. So you have to stay compliant. If you want to know what not to say and what you can say, there's a PDF that I can put in the WhatsApp for you, and it tells you exactly what you can say and exactly what you can't say for every single patch. Can't say
Yeah,
stem
can you also drop it in the notes? I mean, the chat box for them as well. After,
I think I can. It's not
if
on
not,
my-
no worries. Keep going.
Okay. You're not allowed to say stem cells. You're not allowed to say diagnosis. You're not allowed to say protocol. You're not allowed to say cancer, and you're not allowed to say disease. Those are 5 words you are not allowed to say in the captions, in the hashtags, or anywhere on social media unless it's a one-on-one in Messenger or one-on-one in person. And if you do have a video or something, always add a disclaimer. I can add that, or maybe you can on the chat. But with social media, you want to always add value to people's lives. So when you're posting on social media, you have to think about what value you're adding for someone else. So if your target market is young moms or young families that want their husband to be at home, you need to add value to that. How can you get your husband to stay at home more? Or how can you get your family to go to all the baseball games? That's how you add value to your life. You're not selling it, you're sharing it. And then ask questions for engagement. So that means ask them what their morning routine is. What's your morning routine? Here's mine. I get my coffee and I put on my patch. Why? Here's why I put on my patch and drink my coffee. Or here's why I don't drink coffee anymore. I put on this patch. It's so simple just to ask questions because you're looking for engagement. You want people to comment on there. And the third thing is you have to be consistent. 100%. People from 2 years ago still come to my TikToks and our Facebook and say, I can't believe you're still doing this, because a lot of people in network marketing give up so quickly. And if you're posting consistently, those people that laughed at you 2 years ago that see you only doing LifeWave right now because you can are like, oh, I should have listened to her 2 years ago.
And also let me pause you there too. And that's not just social media, guys. That's business in general.
Absolutely.
Right? If people knew you stopped, then they don't want to join. People want to join people that are successful and growing. And to people, success is what their mind is. Maybe it's doing what I'm doing. I'm going across the country for a month, living my best life, traveling in an RV, meeting people because I can work remote. Maybe that's somebody's dream. I'm going to share that dream with them because that's what they want, right? I got to be consistent in what I'm doing so people can have the same life that we're trying to grow for other people. And that's key. And like she said, questions for engagement. can you dive into that a little bit more? Like, are you making a video of you asking the question? Is it a picture? Is it a post? How are you getting people to in your questions for engagement so people just understand, hey, let's say I've never done social media. Maybe I've only posted pictures of my dog and my meals at lunch with my cousin, right? What is asking a question on engagement? What does that look like on social media for you?
So that could look anything from, I used to struggle with headaches. What do you use when you're struggling with headaches? So then you can engage with them. So they might take Tylenol or they might take oregano or something. So you're asking them, you're struggling with this. What do you, I want to know your advice on what you do. So then you can talk about the patch. Or you
And is
say
that in a
what
picture? Is that a video? Or is that like commentary? Like, how do you make that for people?
So when I do my like morning routine videos on TikTok,
Yeah.
I video myself putting on the patch. So I take out the sleeve, which obviously we don't have them here. They're on my. I take out the sleeve. I take the patch out. I show them the patch. I put it on. I turn around. I show them, and that's the end of the video. And then in the captions, I just say, this is what I've benefited from, or this is my morning routine, and this is why. It can be a simple video like that. It can be a post where it has like the colorful, to get people's attention. And it can say, what's your morning routine? And then people just engage. So sometimes you're not looking for someone just to say, what are you doing? Or, oh my gosh, I can't believe that's your morning routine. All you want them to do is to engage so they see your next post. If they engage on your post, they see your next post. That's how Facebook works and the algorithm works. They have to engage to see your next post. So sometimes it's just asking questions like that, whether it's a video or a question, just to get them engaged. You want them to comment, not to click. So I never say, click on my link in my bio or click on the link below. I always say, comment sale or comment need more info or comment whatever, morning routine. And then I'll send them my morning routine in Messenger or something like that. You want to get them to comment and engage.
Amazing.
Does that answer that?
Yes, amazing.
You can go to my TikTok and look at it, but
Yeah.
there's so many videos and they can be short, they can be long. The shorter ones are always going to get the more engagement because people have a very, very small attention span.
And when you say short, what is that, like under 15 seconds?
Yeah, 15 to 30 seconds max. And I have some that are 6 minutes long, but that's because someone asked me a question and I'm answering that or, whatever. Do I need to
Are you using your personal profile or did you create a Facebook business page?
So I have a personal profile. A lot of people differ with this. I do not create a business profile because the algorithm does not like that. So you're not going to get as much genuine engagement when you have a Facebook business page. So everything I do, even my TikTok is a personal TikTok. It is not a business TikTok. Mm-hmm. It's I am Kortnei Lynn. Can you type that in? Mm-hmm. It's one word. I am Kortnei.
Oh, also, Lisa, and for everybody that's a great question that you're bringing up about customers, right? For the future of your business, guys, I mean, we all know that there are some changes happening, right? We know that in any business, there's changes, right? Sometimes there's compensation plan changes, there's package changes, right? I will tell you guys that focusing also on customers for the future of your business will be beneficial in ways that I cannot explain because of an NDA. But things are going to be different in the future. And I will tell you that customers, you will see a change that will be positive to everybody. So yes, customers are good. And you will see why that is so in the future. I know that a lot of us really, we like just putting in business builders, right? And at the end of the day, we're like, well, look, they have the opportunity to build, they have the opportunity to sell, they have the opportunity to grow if they love the product, right? I love that aspect too. But do know that it will be that change that will make it easier for people that attract customers. That will be something easier for you guys.
And customers will have a testimony at some point and 90% of the time become builders. So just keep in mind, it's okay if they just want to try it. I mean, we always are like, just put your foot in, just get going, no matter if you have a testimony or not. But a lot of people want to wait for that testimony. And so then I'm sending them all kinds of stuff during that 30-day period or whatever. But customers are important because at the end of the day, we're here to help people. That is what David Schmidt created this for, and that is what we are here to do, to help people with their health and their wealth. But the health is what matters, because when they get that going, the wealth is going to come after it. Did you want to say something?
Yeah. One of the things, one thing that I know all of you are running into, because we do every day as well, and that's the person that says, well, I just want to try the product, and I'm going to try it for 30 days because I've really got to believe in it, and and I want to be able to talk intelligently to people. Listen, good, I agree. We're with you 100%, right? Sometimes you have to go before you know. And what I mean by that is the proof is already out there of what X39 is doing. The case studies, these clinical trials, okay? People can go and look and see what's happening. When people go and get vitamins, at the stores and whatnot, they don't go, okay, I'm just going to go try this for 30 days. They don't even know what it's going to do for sure. The point I'm making here is sometimes you have to go before you know. And again, what I mean by that is go ahead and order product and become a brand partner. Spend a couple $100 and become a brand partner, because here's the deal. When you are trying it and you do want to make sure that X39 works and you get a testimony, what happens when you have more energy tomorrow than you've had in a long, long time, and you tell some friends and family and people that you work with, and they want to get involved? Listen, you may as well get paid for that. And I tell them, go ahead and there's no risk here. Go ahead and get a position as a brand partner so that you can share it, that you can start participating in the commission structure and earn some money, because you are going to tell people about it. All right. Now, I understand that there's still going to be people that just want to try the product for a period of time. Let them do that. That's fine. They'll come around. Again, we're not in the business here of raising the dead, right? If this call and this Zoom is for leaders and it's for people that want to build, all of you on here want to know more, you want to build. So I'm telling you, keep on swinging. Get out there and tag as many people as possible. Don't quit. This is a marathon. It's not a sprint, right? And this is about, being methodical and genuine and authentic and sharing good news and a really powerful product and company. The right people, leaders will identify themselves. So you get it out there to as many people as possible. The leaders they'll identify themselves, and they will rise up, and you'll know who to work with. Then it's your responsibility to go build depth. It's all about building depth. If the person you enrolled isn't building and doesn't want to build, go talk to someone that they talk to and put in the business, and go around them and work depth and build in their, on their team.
Absolutely. Absolutely. So guys,
we do question and answer, Brooke. I know.
Yeah, sorry, I don't like the calls to go late. So sorry to interrupt you. Guys, if you guys have questions, now is the time, because we do want to keep these calls short, and I do want to run through the qualifications for all the massive giveaways